Hey guys, GSP on GSP Talk Sports here. We're with the weekend football review. The weekend gone week 11, the 8th and the 9th of November 2025. So getting right into it, Saturday in the EPL, we had Spurs playing Man U, right? We had sixth place Spurs playing eighth place Man U, and I predicted a Spurs win, and Spurs were winning. It ended up in a 2-2 draw. So Spurs with a 2-1 lead late in the game, and then Man U with a delit equalizer in the 96th minute. So 2-all draw. Got this one wrong. Was hoping for Spurs to win against Man U. Spurs with 10 shots compared to Man U only 5, and Man U with 49% possession, Spurs 55. Man U with 0.63 XG compared to Spurs 0.92. But on the end of it, ended up a 2-all draw. Spurs move up to 5th, and Man U move up to 7th on goal difference. Moving along, Everton versus Fulham. Everton were in 14th versus Fulham in 15th. I predicted a draw in this, and Everton actually won. So Everton again, hot and cold. Much like Spurs, much like um, a couple of other teams that could win on the day. So more or less a comfortable win for Everton. Three offside goal by the way. One was pretty close. So kind of outrageous if you really check it. So a lot of VAR controversy over this weekend. As I get into it, you'll hear more about different decisions that went against certain teams. Uh, Fulham 8 shots compared to 14 for Everton, and Everton with an XG of 1.44 compared to Fulham 0.40. So yeah, comfortable win for Everton there, moving up from 14th to 13th, and Fulham remaining 15th. Then we had West Ham versus Burnley. I predicted a Burnley win, kind of a bad mind pick according to Alex, and West Ham won 3-2 in a tightly contested but deserved win. 16 shots for West Ham compared to Burnley's 15, 57% possession for Burnley. West Ham with a less possession, and the XG Burnley only 1.06 compared to 3.02 for West Ham. So tight but deserved win for West Ham. West Ham remaining 18th, by the way, Burnley remaining 17th. Moving on, Sunderland versus Arsenal. I would have predicted a Arsenal win. Sunderland were in fourth, Arsenal were in first place, and it ended up in a 2-all draw. So good result for me here. Sunderland remaining in fourth, Arsenal remaining in first. Arsenal with 65% possession and a 1.91 XG, and Sunderland with only the 35% possession, 0.44 XG. Only 2 shots on goal, by the way, for Sunderland. So yeah, 17 shots compared to 6 for Arsenal, 17. Sunderland 6. So this one ended in a 2-all draw. So good draw for the chasing back whoever trying to give Arsenal some competition for the title. So we'll see how the other games went. So then moving on again, we have on the Saturday we had Chelsea versus Wolves. Chelsea going 7th, Wolves in 20th. I predicted a Chelsea win, and I got this one correct. So a 3-0 win for Chelsea. They move up to 3rd, and Wolves remain bottom in 20th. Chelsea with 64% possession, XG of 3.31, and 20 shots compared to 36% possession for Wolves. XG of 0.17, only 3 shots and none on target. So comfortable win here for Chelsea. 3 second half goals, by the way. It was 0-0 at half time, probably giving Wolves some false hope. So Chelsea moving up. And on the Saturday in Serie A, we had the Juve versus Torino. Juve win 6, Torino in 13th. I predicted a Juve win. Got this one wrong because it was a 0-0 draw. Juve with 72% possession, an XG of 1.21, 22 shots. Dominant, but just couldn't score on the day. Torino with only 8 shots, XG of 0.54. So Juve remain 6th and Torino move up with the draw to 12th. By the way, on the Saturday as well, AC played Parma, and it was a 2-2 draw. So good result there for AC. Moving on to the Sunday in EPL, we had Aston Villa in 11th place playing Bournemouth 5th place. And I predicted a Villa win, and I got this one correct, thank God. And it was a 4-0 thumping from Villa. 4-0 thumping over Bournemouth. Couldn't believe that Bournemouth with how they were doing recently, getting all that. Like, so Aston Villa moves up from 11th to 6th, and Bournemouth from 5th to 9th. Villa with 16 shots compared to 12 for Bournemouth, and Villa with actually of 1.70. Bournemouth with actually of 1.61, so close on the actually, but you know how it goes if you don't take your chances, right? So overpowering victory by Villa, overpowered Bournemouth there. And Martinez with an amazing penalty save. My keeper, Argentina all the way, right? So from Semenyo. So that's the beginning on the Sunday. Then moving on the Sunday, EPL again, we had Brentford versus Newcastle. 12th place Brentford versus 13th place Newcastle. I predicted a Newcastle win. And I got this one wrong because Brentford won 3-1. So I was thinking Newcastle going on and do it here. With that, Brentford remain 12th. Newcastle moved from 13th to 14th. Brentford with 49% possession, but 15 shots and an XG of 2.35. And Newcastle only 5 shots and only 1 on target. They actually led 1-0. So Newcastle led 1-0 in the first half, and Brentford came back to win 3-1. So out shooting Newcastle comfortable for Brentford here. Don't know what happened to Newcastle in this one. So again, now moving on, Palace versus Brighton. We had 9th place Palace versus 10th place Brighton. I predicted a draw, got this one correct. And 0-0 draw. Palace moved from 9th to 10th, and Brighton from 10th to 11th. So moving down one spot with the draw there. Palace, 10 shots, 42% possession, 0.75 XG. Brighton, 58% possession, 0.39 XG, and 7 shots. Not a game to remember. So I'll forget about this one with these mid-table teams 0-0 draw. Probably not too good for their fans, right? Forest versus Leeds. Forest in 19th versus 16th place Leeds. I predicted a draw, got this one wrong. Forest with a 3-1 win. Big win for Forest. They remain 19th, by the way. Leeds remain 16th. Forest with 14 shots, 46% possession, 2.55 XG. Leeds with 10 shots, 0.69 XG, and 54% possession. So Leeds with more possession. Leeds actually led 1-0 as well in this game and came back and lost 3-1. So comfortable, much needed win for Forest. Then the big one over the weekend, Man City versus Liverpool. I predicted a Liverpool win. Man City win 2nd spot, Liverpool win 3rd. I got this one horribly wrong. Man City won 3-0. Man City remains 2nd. Liverpool moved from 3rd to 8th. So Liverpool with 7 shots, only 1 on target, XG of 0.61. City with 48% possession, 14 shots, and XG of 1.51. Just say anybody just watching this score would be like, oh, Man City comfortably won, dominant, whatever. Dubious penalty call, right? Early in the game for Man City. Never a penalty. Big dive by, I think it was Doku self, and penalty given for little to no contact. The man was diving, what's going on before, the side contact. Thank God, penalty was saved, and then they end up scoring deflection. All right, Man City that is, and then we thought we would have made it. Liverpool that is made it 1-1. Virgin van Dijk header, and they ruled the goal off offside because Robinson was close to the keeper, but not in front of him. And I need to read this the offside rule, right? So with regards to player being offside, the laws for offside, well, the offside position is where at the moment of the ball being played, um, the person is penalized becoming an active player by becoming an active player, right? So one of the things they have stated here is the player making an obvious action which clearly impacts the ability of our opponent to play the ball. If anything, Robo wasn't blocking Donnarumma, so he wasn't blocking his line aside, and he made a action to actually get away from the ball, ducking away from the ball and moving away from the ball. So no action to get involved in the play or anything like that. So clear robbery. And why do we have Michael Oliver in VAR, a guy who is flown out to UAE to officiate games that Man City owners in charge of the league there and those other things. Isn't that a conflict? And you have Michael Oliver as the VAR referee. This referee and all on field was, I don't know what was going on with him because there are other decisions. I saw some clear fouls for City, nothing being penalized. So he had a dubious penalty appeal. Thank God it wasn't the wasn't converted. Then you had Van Dijk being robbed, and people saying yeah, City dominated, it wouldn't affect the game. You don't know at 1-1 going in at halftime what could have been the difference in the second half. Probably City don't score the second goal. City scores a deflection and all too. So um, that's that just going against us. Third goal, good goal by Doku. To me, Gravenberch supposed to pick up that man in midfield. They allowed him to run through, and he hit a beautiful curler. Gave him too much space, too much. I guess free reign in that game, right? So yeah, Liverpool might get what apology from the referee association. What are we going to do after the game? Points drop, you don't know if it could end up in a draw or if Liverpool could come back after that, gain a little confidence in the second half. So crazy stuff there with VAR. Yeah. So Serie A on the Sunday, Inter versus Lazio. I predicted that Inter win, got this one correct. Inter won 2-0. Pretty comfortable. Lazio with only 8 shots, Inter with I think it was 21 shots, 1.91 xG, and 0.68 xG for Lazio. So Inter moved from second into first on goal difference, and Lazio moved from 8th to 9th. And yeah, Inter took their chances. Roma, by the way, beat Udinese 2-0, and second on goal difference, Roma, that is. And yeah, La Liga on the Sunday, we had Rayo Vallecano versus Real Madrid. 10th place Rayo versus first place Madrid. I predicted a Madrid win. Got this one wrong. Didn't see this coming. 0-0 draw. Kind of form Madrid was in. I thought they had this covered. Rayo moved from 10th to 12th, and Real remained first. Real with 54% possession, 21 shots, 0.98 xG. And yeah, Rayo Vallecano keeper was man of the match. The man basically like saved his side. Real very wasteful in front of goal. So a draw, but yeah, points drop. Yeah, it is what it is there. And then we had the Celta Vigo versus Barca. Celta Vigo in 13th, Barca in second. Barca remained second. I predicted a Barca win. Barca won 4-2. So a big win there for Barca. Celta Vigo 25 shots. XG of 0.58 and 38% possession. Barca with a 62% possession, 3.18 XG and 21 shots. Lewandowski with a hat trick, by the way. So big win there for Barca, and they move within 3 points with their win and Real dropping points. So yeah, guys, we go into the international break now. Let me know what you thought about this weekend's games. Some big ones there. Um, yeah, things not going my way this week. So it's for the guys to go and perform for their countries and come back, regroup, and try to push again. So yeah, we'll be back soon with the previews for World Cup qualifying, and don't forget, JSP on JSP Talk Sports. Like, share, subscribe, and comment.